Welcome to Play by Play, a podcast that gives you a running commentary on relevant topics in sports and life. Join championship coaches Pat and Jerry as they give you relevant takes on events as they occur, along with flashbacks from past experiences. Here now are Pat and Jerry doing Play by Play.
Hey, everyone out there. Welcome to another episode of Play by Play. We've got a good one for you today. Coach Pat, how are you doing?
Doing great, Jerry, and very excited to have our Philly Hoops guest on.
Nice.
But first, we have a few topics.
Yeah, well, the biggest topic, I think, the Masters was just played, and Rory McIlroy held on to win that. It was a phenomenal Masters. I liked Scotty Scheffler going in. Um, I didn't think Rory would go back to back. It's not done that often, but Scheffler made a good run at it and just ran out of holes. And McIlroy just played phenomenal golf down the stretch. Even though he lost the lead, he was able to get his game back. And I mean, it's that, in life, in basketball, in a game, you have highs and lows, and you've got to manage those lows and highs and try to get that consistency back. Um, and he did that, which, it's a great story. Um,
Oh,
and
FanDuel, we had our last guest on. FanDuel gave us Scheffler, Rory, Xander Schauffele, and DeChambeau,
DeChambeau
who blew it out to you know what.
missed the cut.
Uh, and I said on the air that Rory wouldn't go back to back, so I blew that. Uh, what were your thoughts, Tom, as you looked at the Masters?
I think from a competition standpoint, I thought as well as Rory played, his ability to come back from what we'll call like a third quarter drought and finish strong was really most impressive, I thought. And I also thought he played with the pressure of his parents being there because apparently they were not there last year. And this year he flies them out and they're there. And I think, that added pressure of trying to do it again for mom and dad, I thought he did a great job. I thought it was interesting that some of the lesser experienced guys just faded by the wayside and, and the cream rose to the top, if you will.
And
Jerry?
yeah, and my golf game is coming along real well. Great story. I'm playing golf and I'm on a par three, and we have a closest to the pin contest. And one of the guys I'm playing with says, "Hey, before you hit that ball, we have a fund, a hole in one fund." It's like I said, I don't know if I should get in that. They said, no, you really should. If you got $5, put it in. I said, I don't know if I should get in that. Well, I gave him money. I hit the shot, and I'll be damned if the thing didn't roll over the hole. I was 2 feet from the pin and one close to the pin. Uh, I was
Got money back.
it hit, it spun and rolled, literally rolled, and if the stick wasn't there, it would have fell in.
Did you ever have a hole in
Oh,
one?
wow.
Yeah, I've got four.
Oh, wow. Great. Good for you.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Coach Knapp, you a player? You a golfer?
No, no. Last time I played, I think was at my daughter's wedding. Day before my daughter's
Yeah.
wedding, we had an outing, and I played 12 holes.
Yeah.
I said, guys, I'm done. I'll drive the cart. I'll drink beer.
Yeah.
That was the last time. That's 21 years ago.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I picked it up. I got an LPGA and a PGA coach when I retired 9 years ago, and I
Wow.
still work with the PGA coach.
That's great.
Yeah, and they taught me everything, fundamentals. They gave me my swing, everything. I mean, I owe it to them. And as a matter of fact, Steve Dresser, who was on our podcast last week, we talk about his golf school. Whenever I hit a good shot, the guys will say, "Your Steve Dresser dollars at work."
He was a good guest.
Yeah.
He was a good guest. What about the WNBA, Jerry? You had something there.
Well, I was really surprised. I mean, Ozzie Fudd went number one in the draft for the Mystics, but I was with the people that were out there. Now, she's a great player, don't get me wrong, but with Lauren Betts out there and the kid from TCU that played at Notre Dame, um, I thought I thought they would have went no, they would have went one. Um, I was just
Well, there's a reason.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah,
what's that?
there's a reason. Number one,
It's
Jose Fernandez of Dallas is tied in very closely with Gino. Number
mm,
two, uh, they've got Paige Beckers there.
they're
And
good friends.
yes,
Yeah.
and so they thought, pairing them together would be outstanding. Um, I think that the other thing that was all over the internet was Raven, what's her name, getting picked by
Indiana
the
Fever.
Indiana Fever. What's
Oh,
her last name? I'm,
I can't
I'm
remember.
sorry to say I
yeah, but
didn't. What's that, Tom?
she's getting
She's the
ready.
enforcer, I think, right?
She's going to be a great add to that team.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. That's going to be
Yeah.
the protector, I think, too.
And
And so after that, there wasn't any other juice to the WNBA draft, right?
nothing,
Yeah.
nothing. The next biggest story in the WNBA is the Aces signed Chennedy Carter.
Oh, wow.
She's been
Oh,
out
my.
for 2 years because she's been suspended 3 times from the
Yeah.
league for fighting and dirty play, and now
And,
the Aces signed her.
well, what I want to see is the Fever re-signed Sophie Cunningham, Caitlin Clark's protector.
I think she might have just signed for a year, Pat, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
year.
she just re-signed. And so I want to see Kennedy and Cunningham go at it.
Yeah.
I want to see them go at
They might
it.
get-
Actually, what I want to
That-
see at the end of the day is I want to see the financial statements for that league because they just negotiated an unbelievable deal for a business that's losing money. I don't understand it. The owners must be willing to subsidize because some of those payouts for the money they're bringing in
The
is
money's
crazy.
coming somewhere. I mean, the kid for the Aces that played at South Carolina, Asia,
Angel Reese.
she not Angel Reese,
No.
the
Aja Wilson.
Oh, Wilson.
Asia, yeah, she just signed for 5 million
Yeah, I saw that
with
for
the
3 years.
Aces,
But yeah,
and
yeah. I don't know.
and the Sky and the Atlanta Dream, they got like the best teams where they didn't have good teams. They're like right on
Yeah.
top with the people they've signed.
Well, I agree with Tom. The NBA subsidizes the league. Although the league is gaining steam, there are some teams that sell out or get close to it. Indiana and Las Vegas are two of them.
Yeah.
So there are good things happening with the league. But yeah, the girls got a good deal.
And
I
and
agree.
but they still have to clean up the game. It's not a
I agree.
fun game to watch.
I agree.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I don't watch much NBA anymore at all. I will watch my Sixers. I caught some of them last night win their playing game. But I figured I'd turn on the Portland Phoenix Suns game, the late game 2 nights ago. Fellas, I think we all know they don't call traveling in the NBA anymore.
Not
You
anymore.
can catch the ball from 25 feet without dribbling, take 2 steps back and get your shot off. All right. Now, I watched that game for a quarter and 2 guys got hurt in the quarter. It was like playing bumper cars. It was out of control, mugged going to the basket. And this happened in the NCAA, the men's this year too. You can start your drive and think you're in the gap, and your defender like bumps you off your path, and you continue driving. You're not going to go, and there's no call. So now you can body bump somebody on a drive, and there's no call. It was two guys got hurt. I was like, how do you referee a game like this? Now, last night, the Sixers game, I only watched a quarter. It's pretty smooth play, up and down. There wasn't any physical aggression other than normal stuff around the boards. I couldn't believe how that game was officiated. It was unbelievable.
Well, we've got a guest, Pat, who's one of the winningest coaches in women's basketball, and he plays a great brand of basketball, unlike the NBA and the WNBA. So why don't you introduce our guest?
Yes, everybody. We have Tom Shirley on today from Philadelphia. Has become a good friend of mine over the years. Tom is one of the most accomplished, longest tenured coaches in the history of women's basketball. He has served as the head women's basketball coach at Jefferson University, formerly Philadelphia Textile and Philadelphia U, since 89-90, guiding the Rams through multiple institutional and conference changes. He has over 900 victories in women's basketball and will be inducted into the Pennsylvania Athletic Hall of Fame in September. So, Tom, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, Tom.
Appreciate it, Pat. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Pat. Pleasure to be here.
So, now you've been coaching 44 years. You established that, right?
Yes.
It says you're number 2 in Division II victories. Who's number 1?
Barb Stevens from Bentley.
Who
retired. And she's in the Naismith and WBCA Hall of Fame.
I remember Barb.
Yeah, very good.
Absolutely.
She was in Massachusetts for a while and then transferred or changed jobs to Bentley.
Now, is she over 1,000, Tom?
She's like 1,058.
Wow. Yeah, she was like a high priestess in the WBCA for many years.
I called her the queen. She's the queen. Yeah.
Did you ever play her?
Yes. We've played them 6 times. We lost the first 4, and when she retired, we beat them the next 2. So there's a formula there, Pat. There's a formula.
Well, that means you were 0-4.
Yeah, correct.
And that's like me. I'm 2-33 against Gino all time. But there are still schools in the Big East that haven't beaten him twice. Still in the history. So I'm pretty proud of 2.
Absolutely. I would agree. With you.
You stepped away from being athletic director a couple of years ago. Tell us who you oversaw all those years at Philly Textile, Philly U. He's a Hall of Famer that everybody should know pretty well. Tell us who you oversaw all those many years.
Well, I mean, I pretty much saw everybody in the department, but the lead dog that you're referring to is our friend Coach Herb McKee. So Herb came to Textile in 1959 as a player and left in 2022 with 1,144 wins. Mm-hmm. And the running joke was when he showed up at Textile, Love Me Tender was number 1.
Hey, Herbie McGee played with some studs.
Oh, he
high
did.
School.
Jimmy Boyle and Jimmy Lynam.
Jimmy Lynam, both St. Joseph's legends. Yeah. And
the last West Catholic team to win the city championship.
Wow.
He'll tell you that too. I think he was part of that.
1959.
That was a very good team.
Tell me,
still friends with Lionel.
I
Yeah,
got
tell
all his
us.
shooting techniques. I got to meet him a few times. He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Herbie was he could be a cantankerous one though, couldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're somewhat set in your ways and you go through and then you have a couple different athletic directors and then I walk in and of course we did it together for 33 years, but he wanted things done his way. He wasn't overly interested in the rules sometimes, you know. Similar to basketball, he was always looking for the back door, wherever we could go and figure out what we got to do. And the kid didn't get accepted, or the kid's got low SATs, or the kid had a fight in the dorm. He was always looking for the how can we make this work. But a really really good basketball coach who did a great job and won a lot of games. And I still think though, if Jimmy Riley, who's the coach now, and I did an hour of HBO, we could sell it out. I mean, just the stories are really funny. So,
Oh, I'll bet.
just a real quick one. So we're up at Mercy College one night, and his assistants who were part time couldn't make it. So he says to me after my game, "Could you sit on the bench with me?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So timeouts, fouls. So game's going along. They said that's Pat's second foul. That's Jerry's second foul. Used the timeout, and you got 4 left. And at one point, they went on a run. The other team. I said, "Coach, that's 12 in a row. You might want to think about going in." Whoa, 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 big boy. Relax. Timeouts, fouls. That's so after that, I shut up. We won by 50, and that was get on the bus.
Herbie was, and this leads into another question. Herbie was an outstanding recruiter in the Philadelphia area, particularly the Catholic League.
Agreed.
And I know that you recruited my niece, Courtney Knapp, to Philly Textile. She played for you. Do you still recruit the Philly Catholic League, Public League, or have you branched out? Have you changed? Where are you recruiting?
I think we branched out. We're a little more into New York and Upper New Jersey and a little bit of Delaware. I think what's happening in the Catholic League is the top 4 are extremely strong, like Carroll, O'Hara, Wood, and trying to think of the fourth one, but
Goretti
are always strong. But then you go down to the second tier, and it's just not as strong. I mean, like Wood and Little Flower, you may as well keep the bus running. Like that's not going to take long. So, but the problem is now that upper tier, you got a lot of those kids looking at the bigger schools. Like the MVP of the league this year was Eric Eber's daughter from Villanova, and she's going to Villanova, and the sophomore daughter is probably better. So it's kind of a higher echelon kid at the higher echelon schools. And going back to my analogy with Jerry, they're not looking to date the tuba player. They're looking to date the quarterback. So where we're starting to find a little bit of success is when they go somewhere and they don't like it or they're not playing enough and they go in the portal, then we're getting some phone calls. So yes and no, we are recruiting them, but understanding that we're not a primary option.
Yeah, I was just saying earlier that I would think that the freshman pool would be richer for Division II schools because all the coaches that go after players in the portal, but only about 30% of those players get placed out of the portal. But and Tom, you can address this. Is the freshman pool richer for Division schools too? Division II.
I think the freshman pool is richer. There's more kids available, but a lot of times they're not willing to realize that they might be beaten out by someone in the portal. Whereas, schools would rather have a 19-year-old with 2 years experience than a 17-year-old with no experience. So sometimes, they value themselves a little too high, or shall I say their parents value them a little too high, and they wait and they wait and they wait. And then all of a sudden at the very end, they're starting to call the Division IIs or the Division IIIs because the spot they thought they had was taken by someone in the portal. So they're the losing group. They're the ones losing out, the high school kids. Opportunities have diminished. Bodies have gone up. Opportunities have gone down.
So
I would have thought that. Go ahead, Jerry.
I was going to say, with all your years of success, what what's the current formula to maintain that level of success year in and year out with between the transfer portal and nil and everything else? What did you have to tweak
Well,
or
I think our niche has become when I bring these kids in, I redshirt them in the first year. And it's not something new. Harry Preddy used to do it as well.
Yeah.
But you sit them there the first year and they get a test drive of the entire program. And my point to them is if you don't like it after a year and you transfer, you'll have 30 credits, but you'll have 4 years of eligibility. So why not come to us for a year and take a shot? And of course, you're on scholarship. So I think the second thing is now when you're 22, 23, you're playing your senior year of eligibility, which you're much more effective at that age than you are at 17 or 18. And then you're leaving with a master's degree. So what I sell location. I sell a Jefferson diploma because we own 16 hospitals and employ 60,000 people. And I sell that master's degree. And I tell them all the time, like, you may never use that master's, but it will get you in the door and it will get you a promotion. And I think a lot of the parents are astute enough to realize, even if she's not playing as much as I thought, the value for the time is worth it.
Boy, oh boy, I didn't know you did that. I mean, I
Yeah.
know Harry would do it. He didn't do it with every freshman, but he did
Yeah.
it with a lot of them. And you're getting good numbers with that
Yeah,
philosophy.
we are. And it's just worked. I mean, I think the kids like it there. Jefferson setting, Pat, you know where it is. I mean,
Yeah.
you got Manny Yonk on one end, you got the Roxborough on the other end, you got the stadiums down there, you got South Street. So it's just a lot for kids to do. And the social life is not living in a college town, quote unquote. So 33 colleges and universities within 90 minutes of Jefferson. So,
Now you talked about your recruiting territory. New York, North Jersey, that had to do with the conference you were in, right? That had to
yeah.
help.
Yeah, we moved into the Central Atlantic Collegiate Conference in 2006. And we're in Bloomfield, we're in Caldwell, we're in Waterbury, Connecticut, we're in Garden City, New York. So, yeah, moving up into that area gave us exposure up there. And then, of course, kids are reaching out to us because they see us up there. So that's probably where we've shifted the most is, up the Manalapan area, like St. Rose High School, schools like that. And, this year we're bringing a Staten Island kid in, a Virginia kid in, and a Manasquan kid in. So, just different areas. But,
Are they all going to redshirt?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
it's
But the thing I like, Pat, and that parents like is if this is a total bomb, she got 30 credits and she's got 4 years to sell. I could sell for 4 more years.
Yeah, I understand, Jerry.
No, I love it. I was wondering the skill levels of kids have gotten much better. Where do you put your focus on kids? I mean, freshmen coming into college are so much better than they out of high school, and because of the movement of the portal, I don't think teams are as stronger because of all the movement, but
Yeah.
individual freshmen are better. The individual
I
kids,
think to answer your question, I think the big thing going in is, you're going to have a kid that scores 30 a game in single A. And then you're going to have a kid that scores 12 points in 6A. So, sometimes these 30, 35 point scorers are a little full of themselves because they're throwing up the stats, but the quality of competition is not there. So from a recruiting standpoint, we're looking at who you're playing against and at what level you're playing it. And I think that's the most important thing that we try to look at. The second thing for us at Division II, we're not really position specific as much as we look at what I call versatility. Like I'd rather have a kid that can shoot a little, defend a little, pass a little, get on the floor a little, as opposed to I can make 42% of my 3-point shots, but I couldn't cover a bit. Like that's a problem. So
yeah.
I would say versatility is the strength of our recruiting in terms of what we're looking for.
Yeah, a quick backup, Tom. Didn't you guys, or maybe they still are, a big rival, St. Rose's?
St. Rose, but St. Rose closed 2 years ago.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it closed.
They used to have all the foreign players,
Yeah,
didn't
they did. In the mid '90s, they did have foreign players, and they were very, very good. Our rivalry now is really what was with the University of Sciences, but that closed, and now I'd say it's Holy Family and Chestnut Hill because we're all so close.
Right,
too.
right. And back to the Eber sisters. Eric, I remember at Villanova.
Yep.
Where are they at school? Are they at Wood?
They're at Carroll.
They're at
Carroll. You
Carroll.
got a senior who was the MVP, a sophomore who started and was very good, and a freshman who didn't play a lot. And Renee Shields is coaching.
Is she still coaching? Wow. Wow. All right. Well, and they're well coached.
And they won the Catholic League this year. Yeah, they had a great year.
Oh, I did read that. So, Tom, all these years, particularly at, to me, I call it Philly Textile. What are some of your most celebrated teams or moments that you want to tell our audience?
Well, I think 22, 23, and 23, 24, we made back-to-back trips to the Sweet 16, which was really special with a really good group. That was a group that was all those 22-year-olds, and one kid was actually 23, almost 24, because we redshirted her and she got a COVID year. So we were very experienced. We were very, very filled out at every spot. In the last year we went to the Sweet 16, we were 32 and 2. So that was probably our best team, most celebrated team. But we want some. Pat, it all kind of runs together. We had a 29-2 team that was ranked number 1 in the country and number 2 in the country in 18-19. But it's I don't know that I put one above the other. I think it's just you remember the groups of kids. You remember what you accomplished with that group. You remember some of the groups that weren't as good and weren't as accomplished. But my whole thing is when my career is over, I would like someone to take the number of wins divided by the number of years and come up with at least 20. Because if that number 20 is there, you have to at least give us, if you don't like the program or you do like the program, we were consistent. And that to me is what my coaching philosophy is. We're not going to win 3 and then win 30 and then win 10 and then win 20. We're going to try to win 20 games every year. That's the goal.
In the city of Philadelphia, and Jerry knows this, maybe the birthplace of big-time women's hoops with Kathy Rush and Marianne Stanley, and you can just go on. Yep. The high schools got great. June Olkowski at Goretti, the Coyle twins at West Catholic, and of course the
Susie
college
O'Connell from there
too? Was that?
Wasn't Susie O'Connell from Penn?
No, she was Pittsburgh.
She's from Pittsburgh, yeah.
She was Pittsburgh. Yeah. But you've seen it all.
The Mighty Macs, the Immaculata, they kind of rang the bell the first time.
Well, Jerry knows them very well, having worked for Marianne. Yeah. But your program has been in the midst of all that. You have any thoughts on that? I mean, I don't think you get enough credit for maintaining a strong women's basketball presence in the city. But go ahead.
My God,
I think the biggest thing that I concern myself with is as the generations of parents go by, it's tougher and tougher to deal with the parents. The kids are the kids. They're 17, 18 years old. If you ask them to pick up a piece of trash, they're going to pick it up. If you ask them to go to the other side of the court, they're going to go. But there's a lot of questioning from parents. I laugh because, what do you do for a living? I'm an accountant. But yet you want to tell me we should have played a 3-2 zone. I would never tell you how to do my taxes, ever. So I think there's less and less respect for what coaches have to offer. And every father's daughter thinks that she's an All-American and never had a drink. And you have to start under that preface, it's tough sometimes. And I particularly struggle with fathers without sons because they live vicariously through their daughters. And when you run into the pronoun users, you got to be careful. You know what they are?
No.
When they say we would have won, but we didn't play enough zone. You didn't play. You didn't play. So I'm really cautious of the way parents present themselves in recruiting, because if you think you're going to tell me what to do, then we're going to have a problem.
You know what's interesting? The fact that you are getting families and kids to buy into red shirting, I'm surprised that they would act that arrogantly.
I agree. And, I always say, and it's funny, when I do recruiting, I'll call up a young lady's phone and she'll look at it, not know my number, and not answer it. But if I text, she'll get back to me. And I want to say, a man with $250,000 is on the phone. Answer it. Pick it up. But it's crazy. But,
well, they need those lessons.
Well,
they need those lessons. Jerry, you got anything?
So for any of our parents that are listening to this podcast, that listen to it, what is your style of play? That somebody comes to play for you, what can they expect day to day? And
well, I think, first of all, we're not married to any one thing in particular. So defensively, we're going to play multi combinations of man, zone, matchups, traps, junk, whatever the case would be. Offensively, we're always looking for some level of continuity offense that we can, everybody pass, cut, move, best shot, shoot it. Then we're looking for quick hit sets where, you're option 1 and Pat's option 2 and I'm option 3, and then trying to get specific with the ball. But I think the biggest thing about it is, you have to have the ability to score the ball with 5 seconds left, because it's a 30-second shot clock and we don't want to eat the ball. So if you think you're just a passer pedaling back to play defense, we don't need you. You got to, everybody on the floor should be able to score 10 points a game. That's my opinion. So I think it's a question of, can you score, and can you score in a system it's simplistically complicated. Once you figure out what we do, you'll figure out. But we're not a big read and react team. We're a big scripted team, and nice. Good or bad. Some parents don't like that because the game today is 5 out or 4 out. I don't want to play 5 out. I want to go into the post and kick it back out. So, we're always looking for a big kid. And I think the other thing about recruiting is sometimes parents don't understand recruiting is very seasonal. Like, I might be loaded with point guards. So I know your daughter's a good player, but I can't use her. Or we might have 3 post players, and I know your daughter's a great post player, but I just can't use her. So they have to sometimes understand that we're not buying what they're selling sometimes.
So you're not married to the dribble drive, ball screen, dribble handoff. So there's 1 second left in a shot clock, and then jack up a 3. You don't do that.
No, we have 5 different sets that we start at 10 seconds that we're going to run a double screen and a slip, or a double screen and a flare to get a shot. And my thing, if you eat the ball and the shot clock goes off, you are out. You're out. Throw it up over your head, kick it, do whatever you got to do, get it to the rim so we have a chance. But the other thing, Jerry, to your point, with a 30-second shot clock, there's not a lot of time to kill. I mean, you got to get up there and be pretty functional with the ball.
Yeah.
So if we can score in transition within the first 8 or 10 seconds, we'll take that shot.
Well, I think scripted teams overall and all, I watch a lot of Division II and mid-major games throughout the year. And I think scripted teams, the skill level is better. I mean, their technical skills are much better in how they execute. And so I enjoy the teams that play that style.
Well, when you're not scripted, the kids that like to shoot all the time are going to shoot all the time. So when you're scripted and you know that this is not set up for you, you understand that, and you'll help share the ball. Ball's got to move side to side. If you're not moving the defense, you're not being functional.
Yeah, I've talked to Jerry about this before, watching a lot of men's basketball. That's my specific comment, particularly the guys I watch here. And I love our men's coach. But these guys, they wear themselves out trying to make a one-on-one move and get into the gap.
Yeah.
And by the end of the game, they're totally exhausted from just trying to get the ball into the gap.
Yeah.
And I'm like, give the guy some help. There's a lot of great coaches out there. Gino, many others. I cite Izzo. I cite Bill Self. I cite Hurley at UConn. that run all kind of different stuff.
Yeah.
You're going to get a ball screen here and there, but there's a lot of action
Just move. I
get
agree.
people open before you're just dribbling your face off.
I tell our
like
kids all the time, you keep moving, the defender will get bored and the defender will get tired and they'll trail you. And once they trail you, you have the offensive advantage.
And let me ask you this too, Tom, based on that, screening. How much time do you spend on screening?
Well, we do like 25 minutes of breakdown every day. So that's usually once a week of a component. Sometimes we talk about, the hard ball screen and then a rescreen. Sometimes we talk about a ball screen and a roll. Sometimes we talk about a slip and a post. So we'll incorporate that into our individual breakdown stuff. But I would say within our offensive sets, we're like a B- with screening. I mean, I believe that if you can beat somebody off the dribble, it will collapse and you'll get a kick. Right. So and the other thing, a lot of times with screens, you expose yourself to the opportunity for an offensive foul because kids are moving, they're sticking their elbow out, they got their hip out, and there's not a lot of value in that.
Yeah. Well, I got two last things, Tom, and one of them I've asked you before, but let's finish with this. You're going into the Pennsylvania Athletic Hall of Fame in September. Tell us who else is going in, if you can remember, and tell us what that means for you being inducted.
Well, I would have to say, number one, I'm honored. Number two, I'm in some other Hall of Fames, but it's the Roxborough Hall of Fame, it's the Philly U Hall of Fame, it's the Sales. So, and I'm not demeaning any of those other awards, but this is like a varsity award, where some of those other ones, are a little bit more on the JV side, I guess. And honored, but so this is like, you're up there with Darrell Rivas, you're up there with Joey Crawford, who just got put into the Naismith Hall of Fame, Mike Banham from Roman, who was in the NBA, just a lot of really good people. And on that list, I think I'm on the JV team, maybe the freshman team, to be honest with you. And then Darrell Rivas, I mean, he's an NFL Hall of Famer.
Right.
Frank Reich is going in. He just got an NBA or an NFL job somewhere. I'm trying to find that list, but I can't find it right off the top of my head. But I know, and Larry Bowe is going in too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, Larry Bowe, Mark Jackson from Roman, who went to Temple. Yeah. And then went on to play for the Warriors.
That's going to be a big night, man.
Yeah. Right now, they're over 600 tickets. That's crazy. Like Mike Banham's got 10 tables. Like it's kind of nuts. Wow. But I'm honored, but I'm not. I try to keep it in perspective, Pat. Like it's nice, and I'm glad to be honored for my life's work. But what a great career I've had, and what a great level of enjoyment I've had. A lot of people get jobs and they don't like their jobs, and they spend 45 years in kind of an agony. So
as I've asked you before, why haven't you retired? And you told me,
I got nothing to do. I don't know what I'd do with myself. Like, I don't have any hobbies. I don't fish. I don't hunt. I don't shoot anything. Like, so, and I'm married 44 years, and she's very happy when I leave in the morning. So, and you know what? I get to affect young kids in a positive way. I get to hang out with other people. I think when you're older and you're amongst people, retired or not retired, you stay relevant.
Yep.
If you just sit in and watch Gunsmoke and Gomer Pyle, and eat dinner at 4:30 and go to bed at 7, you're cooked. You might as well just go to the cemetery and get to So, like you're playing your golf and you're doing the broadcasting for university. Like that stuff keeps us relevant, keeps us among people. You need a favor, somebody. So that's
I totally agree with you. Me doing these games kept me close to the game, gotten to know a lot of very incredible young women as they've passed through here. I stay connected with our men's coach and his team. So you're absolutely right on. You need other people to stay relevant.
I don't think you could call them golden years if I was just sitting home every day. I think you get, and what I like about AD is I'm not working 65-hour weeks now. I'm working more like this time of year, I'm working 25, which is great.
Yeah. And that was a good move.
There's something about being around youth that keeps you, young, it keeps you sharp, and you're also making an impact on people. I love that. The opportunity either through our podcast or doing a keynote, speaking at a high
Yes.
school. My first couple of years out, I coached a local high school here, and
Yeah.
it was
Just
it was fun.
keeps you active. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pat, Jerry, if I may, I would like to tell you one quick story so that if any of the young people are listening out there, when I graduated from college in 1976, it was with an economics degree, and I went to work for Ford Motor Company. And in 1980, I decided I wanted to get into college sports in doing anything. So I wrote letters and licked envelopes and stamps. And I was fortunate enough. And at the time, I was making $42,000. I had a company car every 3,000 miles, 3,000 miles, new car. So I got offered to be the athletic director at Allentown College, where I went to school. And the president wanted to hire a quote unquote businessman. And he offered me $17,000. And I really toiled over it, but I took it. And then he said, by the way, the women's basketball team needs a coach. Do you want to coach them? I'm like, I never coached before. He said, just do it. I said, what about some compensation? He said, I'll say a mass a month for you. So my career really started at 26, but I took a 65% pay cut. And I say to the young people today, it's the best thing I ever did because I got to spend 45 years doing something that I had a liking for. But to do something that you don't like, and then you develop a lifestyle where you don't want to leave your lifestyle, so you'll stay with a bad job, is really could be misery. So I encourage young people, go out and do what you want to do, pay the sacrifice, and be happy with your life.
It's a good message.
My mother said, whatever you want to do. My fiance said, you got to be happy. My father asked my mother if she dropped me on my head when I was young and didn't tell him. He was that unhappy about that.
Well, that's a great way to end it because I think all three of us took that sports and coaching opportunity at a very early age and didn't make any money, but we had goals to move onward and upward, and we don't regret it at all.
I agree.
Yeah, I tell people what moved me out of coaching wasn't that I didn't like coaching anymore. It was a person that I had incredible curiosity about their leadership. And I said, I want to see what life's like working for this person. And I moved, and I always thought I'd get back to coaching, but a whole bunch of years later, I just loved everything I did and what happened and everything else that
That's
happened.
the main thing. You were happy. Yeah, you were happy.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
incredible.
you killed it in that industry, Jerry. You killed it in that industry.
They named an award after me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, just
great.
ADP was the company.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, Tom, thanks so much. Thanks so much for being on. And
thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
And
it was a pleasure
for
to see
everybody.
you,
yeah, for everybody out there, thanks for listening to Play by Play. Now, please please subscribe, please hit play. That's how we get some data back. When you hit play or you hit like or make a comment, we get all that data sent back to us, and you can hear us on Spotify, Apple, and iHeartRadio. So thanks everybody, and again, Tom, thank you.